Hello, my name is Heulwen Wright and I am a glass artist based in North Wales. I very much actually take inspiration from my surroundings and the parts of North Wales and Mid Wales where I grew up. I specialise in fused glass, which I also screen print a lot onto. So I specialise in screen printing on glass. It's quite a passion of mine. I like to create text alongside my landscape imagery, so that it kind of creates multiple layers and depth and gives a real feel of the hills and the landscape and mountains of North Wales. I aim to create glass art and functional items that tell a story and instill a sense of mystery and intrigue. I like my work to hint at memories of people, places, and times in the past that we can no longer see or touch or return to, yet we can still feel what remains hidden below the surface. This is particularly relevant in my work that pays homage to the drowning of the North Wales village of Capel Celyn. I was born in a cottage and lived in a cottage just at the side of Capel Celyn. And the family friend, Rodri Jones, went to the school that is underneath the lake, and his family have farmed the surrounding hillsides for generations. And Rodri Jones wrote the poetry that I use in my Capel Celyn range. The poetry that Rodri has written is all about his experience of going back to Capel Celyn lakeshore on the summer that it was very, very hot and the water had receded. So Rodri was for the first time in over 25 years able to go down and put feet and take his first steps onto the bridge into the village, for the first time since his childhood days, where he would cross the bridge to walk to school every day. And the poetry is very much a memory and how that experience affected him. My inspiration for my glass is very much the wild and windswept places from my childhood, the changing of seasons and my love of nature in the natural world, how light changes. I'm also incredibly interested in the amazing abstract patterns that cover the surface of the earth and how these look when viewed from above or from space. Different regions and results of geological forces, streams, salt lakes, deserts, etc., and how these look and appear. I work predominantly in glass powders and frits, which are crushed and powdered glass, which I use onto sheets of glass. I create very much a landscape using black powder first initially, and then over that I will sieve the colours and the coloured glass. These, when they're sieved onto the glass, actually look quite dull and don't look very much, but as they fire in the kiln they will change colour, and the rich burgundies and greens of the landscape, especially the sort of desolate feel of some of the more rural areas of North Wales, more isolated places. So that really is quite recognisable, I believe, in my work. I particularly like to screen print text onto glass. It's something I have quite a passion for, and it to me creates quite unique and atmospheric work. I think the combination of the colours and the powders and the frits, along with the black and the blue and white text, adds to the landscape, and the feel of the piece. I'm very fortunate that I was brought up with a creative family. My dad is a textile designer and used to teach textiles, woven textile, design. My mum was a very good illustrator and spent a lot of my childhood watching her sew and create embroidery. So I think that sort of rubbed off on me, and I was always destined to do something creative. To do something creative. I went to university much later in life. I have two teenage children, and I thought that myself studying at the same time as them studying for their GCSEs and A levels would be quite an appropriate time for myself to be studying alongside them, and we would all be able to sympathise with each other. Yes, I went on the journey of university, which initially I had in my mind that I would go to study ceramics, but during the first term, where you spend a little bit of time in metalwork and jewellery, and also in the ceramics department and the glass department, I found my love of glass. So yes, began a journey on a Bachelor of Arts at Glyndwr University in Wrexham, which very quickly I changed to study a Master of Design in Applied Arts, specialising in glass art, and the course was probably the best thing I've ever done, other than having children, of course. I think that the modules, the way the course is designed, really does prepare you as an individual and a maker, and it's very much designed to create professional makers. You never really stop learning, I believe, as an artist. And I'm very fortunate that I'm now set in my second year as artist in residence with Glyndwr University, so that I can continue my learning experience, but also help to mentor the students in their learning experience. It's very fortunate to have the continued experience and support from the staff, and in return to have to give assistance and to help in return for time in the workshop. During my time and since my time studying my Master of Design, I have been involved in numerous exhibitions, one of which was with the Glyndwr staff, more recently in Theatr Clwyd, the Material Worlds exhibition, which was amalgamation of staff from Glyndwr University and Ceramic Wales, which is ran and organised by the Applied Arts staff at the university. That was a wonderful exhibition up at Theatr Clwyd in Mold in North Wales, and currently I have my range of tableware in Oriel Mostyn in Llandudno in the Gifts from Wales and the Borders showcase, which is on until the end of January 2021. I also have been part of the World of Glass Glorious Glass exhibition in 2019, along with Contemporary Glass Society members from the region, which was a wonderful exhibition with a lot of talent, and very nice to be part of an all glass exhibition in World of Glass in St Helens. I was selected in 2019 for my work to be involved in an emerging artist exhibition in Creates Gallery in Monmouth, and following on from that I had work in their spring exhibition, and was also involved in featured in Creates magazine that spring as well. So on my during second year of the degree, I made a piece of work which was a glass and copper Bible, which was in response to a brief for us to exhibit in Chirk Castle, the Spirit of the Place exhibition in 2016. So that Bible was firstly that was selected for an emerging artist exhibition in Creates Gallery, and following on from that was actually selected for the Genedlaethol Eisteddfod in Llanrwst in 2019 for a Lle Gelf, which was just an amazing experience, really, for an artist in North Wales, for a Welsh language piece of work to be selected for such a prestigious exhibition and event was was quite spectacular and quite an amazing experience. For really my the barriers that I've come across really for as a 3D maker, really art glass is a very expensive material to work in, and really in light of COVID, it's sort of thrown up some challenges with the limited time that has been available for access to the workshop and the studio through in the university, understandably. So there is very much need for myself to have my own studio or premises, ideally at my own home, a garden studio space. We're very fortunate that many galleries and online events and events throughout the country have very much turned to online marketplaces in response to COVID, and this is really beneficial and something that I will be linking with for the winter, autumn, winter, and 2020, and really and beyond. I think we have to adapt as makers, and find new ways of both working and how we promote and sell ourselves and our work. Yeah, there's many positives alongside the barriers that are in place. The next generation of makers are very much learning new ways of working, and the positive for myself really being as artist in residence in the university is that continuous contact with the next generation and their journey. Funding can be a barrier, very much so, and looking at ways of setting up my own studio